In a world where darkness and deceit rule, and authoritarians impose their will, one group of heroes dares to resist and be a beacon of hope and truth. They are the Rogue Resistance.
What do you want to do now, Cap?
Same thing we always do. Fight 'em until we can't.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll tell you what, Drew, that was a wonderful beginning right there. I was touching my computer the whole time that intro was running. It was beautiful. That's good.
Actually,
music there.
That was actually, truth be told, behind the scenes magic. That was a tester. I actually wanted to do that one only because that had the old school kind of stuff mixed in, and then we're gonna break in the new intro next week after the first of the year, I'm sure. Because
before you break it in, did you warn her first?
He did not.
No, I never do. I just kind of go raw deep.
I mean, to be fair, nothing can prepare you.
This is true. Great to have everybody here tonight. This is the final Rogue Resistance of the year, and we are going to do our kind of 2021 in review stream. We're going to talk about some of the current events that made up this clown world friggin' year, and kind of look back, and hopefully we could do it in both a informational and comedic light, like we always do. Like you guys know how we do it, and of course, I've got a great panel with me tonight. We've got the man that needs no introduction. That is the master of the collective of the guinea pigs, and that is Tommy. What up, my friend?
Oh, we are absolutely brilliant tonight. Brilliant. Pig Roddick here to celebrate this wonderful end of the year stream with you, Drew.
Thanks, Tommy. Oh, man. Of course, we got the people's champ, Mr. Etep Wakuyan.
It is I, it is he, it is me, P-double-D, Etep Wakuyan from the Place to Be Reviews, right here with all of yous, Rogue Resistance Tuesday night. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. It's great to be here, Drew, Tommy, Brightest Day, Freeze Peach, and my brother right below me in the square down here, Tony Tone Deaf. this chat, the Rogue chat, the best chat on YouTube. And Dragon Master asks, why am I everywhere? Because I'm omnipotent. Do you see this beard? I'm working on greatness here. I'm omnipotent. I'm trying to get that Keely Chow status where I'm like everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. Once you've been assimilated, ETEP, you get that ability to just cross streams all over the place.
ETEP's everywhere because I like to call him the Turbo Jew. That's exactly what he is. He's everywhere.
Instead of Rob Halford, Turbo Loves, I'm your Turbo Hebrew.
That's right. Exactly.
I was going to say, I've got little blue pills to help with your nipotence.
I don't need no help there. I'm good.
Now, speaking of the aforementioned Mr. Tony Tone Deaf, welcome, Tony. It's your first time on the show. So actually, it's about time you got here, considering this show is in your wheelhouse.
Yes.
Are you going to break it? Are you going to break him in easy, Drew?
No, he's going right into defense.
Oh,
I'm
Jesus. Raw dog.
I'm thinking, what's more Clown World that within 30 days of each other, we launch the James Webb Space Telescope and have Demi Lovato sing to sexually assaulted ghosts.
That's right. That's right. Oh my God, that video was the epitome of cringe.
I thought the singing was the sexual assault.
we need to find that clip at some point because I really do want to play that Lovato clip.
She went from looking like Selena to the woman who killed Selena within like 4 years.
Yes, absolutely. Of course, I've got my buddy Free Speech Gaming, man. Always good to have Freeze on here because he brings good takes all the time, and it's good to see you, sir.
Well, thanks for setting me up to fail. But good to be here. Glad to be with the greatest panel out there. Just here to have a good time, reminisce on the year, all of the crazy crap that happened. We had a couple of good things, one or two good things, and a sea of shit.
Yep, and of course I have my XO, Mr. Brightest Day, Zach, who failed basic flight, as our Pegasus actual joke goes. But yeah, he's always here.
Try to stay here from the Battlestar Oa, where all is calm and all is bright, and we're taking this nice break from the cultured fight. Glad to see you all here.
No, we ain't taking a break. We're going balls deep, buddy.
True, I told you a million times you're gonna kill somebody.
Did you say balls deep?
Yes, I did.
The tree historian is here. Then, if you're going balls deep, I gotta be here.
Yeah. All right, let's say what's up to the awesome chat because there's a lot of people that made their way in already. Want to give a warm welcome, of course, to Tina. One of our favorite mods. Always a great supporter around this fellowship. And Tina, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, wonderful holiday. Dragon Master 360 is here. What's up, sir? How you doing? The lovely Sherry is here. Hello to you, Sherry. It's always great to see you. You always brighten up the streams wherever you go. Macklin made it's in the house. Great to see you, Macklin. One of the other great mods we got, Tehillim, hashtag Juice Talk did it nice.
Hashtag beware the Drew.
Yes.
Gotta be consistent.
Oh man, hail to the tree historian.
The tree historian, the Astorian, the enema historian, the roofie historian, the mid
coffee historian,
and his new one. Oh, I keep forgetting his new one.
The candle historian.
Candle historian.
Yeah. he is just building them up. It's awesome.
Hail to our boy Zax. What's up, Zax?
What's up, Zax?
The artist formerly known as Zax7. Sporting News Podcast. What up, Scotty? Great to see you. Scotty needs subscribers, folks. Not. So, just go in and, sub to his channel.
Ought to hear him tell it. He's a big deal on TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok?
Yeah. He's all the rage. He's all the rage in China.
I've I've been asked why why don't you have a TikTok yet? And I was like, well, I have no desire for. I've seen, and I shout out to everybody on TikTok. Do your thing. I'm talking me. I'm like, I can't.
I won't do
can't.
it.
I
Yeah,
can't.
I got
it's
the simpler answer than that. It's just
can't.
I got a little bit too much self-respect.
I was trying to be diplomatic for once in my life. Leave it to
There's
Tommy.
no diplomatic. None.
Tommy comes with a sledgehammer. this.
No,
I mean, you guys don't want to give your data to Winnie the Pooh?
No,
Yeah.
come on,
There we
man.
are.
No, come on, man. Listen, China loves Scotty so much that they like him more than somebody that drops $150 chicken fried rice order. I mean,
Oh
come on.
well, you
Do I have to go get the hat?
yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear the story behind that, Drew? They love Scotty so much that they were actually thinking about replacing John Cena with Scotty in the Peacemaker.
This is true.
Yeah, you'll know he's made it in China when he changes it to Sporking Chopstick Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Da 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 dun dun. Sporking news. I don't know. I don't know.
Yes,
Ladies.
he needs a new intro. man.
Chopstick
Every-
News
He needs a new
Podcast.
intro now.
Everybody was Sporking news fighting.
He stops charging dollars for super chats and begins charging personal information.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hail,
Social security number.
I pay you in SG score. You do great.
hail the former Darth Haster. Hail to our boy CJH. What's up, CJ? Great to see you, my friend. Soul Assassin's up in the house. What's up, dude? Parrot Head, what's going on, buddy? Great to see you. Parrot Head says, added one. He said the foot storian.
Oh no!
Jada Nisa Chaos, what's going on? Great to see you.
Do we have to start calling him Steven Tarantino over here?
You know what? I told him this the other day. His legend is growing, unlike his height.
Perpetually 5'2", Steven. Is that a garden? Is that a garden gnome?
One of the other half of After the Weekend with Archie the Icky, the lovely Maria is in the house. What's up, Maria? Great to see you. I love Maria at Unlocking Lore, aka the Greek.
Hey,
the
Drew,
geeky crochet.
keep your love in your pants, please. On this
No,
episode.
it's not that. She is like a sister to me. So now.
Oh man, you just friend zoned her now.
No, I have my crush that will stay safely anonymous. So
Is that the one that's halfway across the world so she don't get hurt?
no. Oh
Still gotta
man.
take the last 2 feet.
Oh man.
Hey, Drew brings a new meaning to bend a corner with me.
Oh man.
By that you mean a city block?
Yes, sir.
No, New York City block.
Yeah.
It literally means I would love you to the world and back because that's how long.
Jada needs us in chaos as he friend zones everyone. She knows me all too well. What's up?
That one hurts.
Hail, Philip Gamey. Great to see you, my friend. Trina, the head modest around here. What is up, Trina? Great to see you. Oh, man. All right. Dragon Master, before you put that stuff in there, listen, I think that's a search for another site.
What
It's
a
the
difference
hubs,
one letters
baby.
make, huh? What a difference a prefix makes.
Oh my gosh! All right, so Parrot Head getting our back as always. He gave me that video, so we gotta start out. We mentioned the crazy Lovato video. Oh god! So he found it. He found it. So we gotta play it.
Oh God, I already hate it.
Carmen? We just got here.
Have you seen anything like?
All right, I can't take any more of that.
My ears are bleeding, Drew.
Yeah. All right.
God.
All right.
That's how she
We get the
melted
gist.
down in the spoon.
Boss,
So
I've heard
That
of butt
stroke
chin.
didn't take her talent too.
So-
I've heard of butt chin, but camel toe chin?
oh my god!
Oof.
Like seriously,
Bruh.
how does that? Oh my god! Like,
Who gave her a fucking TV show about ghost hunting? Like, what was the decision making process? Hey, you know that crazy bitch? She used to be hot, but she looks like Kathy Bates with a fucking short hair, high and tight fade now. Yeah. Let's give her a show about hunting ghosts.
Hulu, aka Disney.
Jesus, dude. Like, I've heard of okay, with Ellen Page. Yes, I said Ellen Page. Fight me. We've rewarded and placated mental illness more than enough, to the point where I saw that bitch's name brought up as somebody who should play James Bond. Okay, now, yeah. So this is where we're at in 2021. This is like peak fucking 2021 shit right here.
I think like the worst part of it, it's a lot of like it's self-diagnosed mental illness, and you raise them to a higher bar. So these people will first thing that you teach anyone when you're going through like therapy training or anything like that is don't diagnose yourself because you're shit at it.
Soul Assassin said, "Who did she blow for a show?"
Who didn't she?
A ghost. Ghost.
Aster says, "Where's Ashton Kutcher hiding?"
No, what was that show? Impractical Jokers. Hey. Now tell her the ghost has been sexually assaulted back in 1835. Yeah, tell her to sing to the ghost. Tell her to sing to the ghost. Yeah, let's do that.
Pale said if she would wear a wig, I'd let her slob it.
Well, she used to be like 2 or 3 years ago. She was hot.
She had long, gorgeous hair. And
she got sober and fucking went ugly. See, she should have stayed hooked on that dope.
Oh
Same thing
man,
happened to Carrie Fisher.
Much better off.
Hail TC Canadian. Great
Yes.
to see you, man. Janet, great to see you, Janet. Thank you so much for being here. It's absolutely fine. You're a little bit late. We're just recapping the Clown World year that was 2021, and no better start than clowning Demi Lovato for singing to a pressed ghost.
I tell you what, Drew. This year was so great they should probably reload it and shoot it again.
Terminus, hail Terminus Est. Brightest days and unidentified Demi Lovato was filming for Demi.
These are the cringe ass like disclaimer subtitles from the start of the video.
Oh God!
Like that's the first thing they tell you.
Oh my God! Oh.
I think that's projection. I think Demi Lovato is under the impression that she's an alien ghost.
Oh my God, dude!
I really hope that they just had this show lined up and they're like, we need anyone to get on this show. And she just said yes.
Brutal Morningwood, hey, buddy. He said, quick, somebody cross the streets.
There is no Demi, only Zool.
Stream Elements. Dina just tipped $25. Thank you so much, Dina. That's right. You guys can use the command ! Tip. God, we're gonna get just the tip.
And you know what? And that $25 is going to come in handy for Drew because that's going to be 2 wheel replacements for one of the wheelbarrows he uses to haul his dog around.
So you can use the command ! Tip, and you will get the.
Just a tip.
You will be able to use the Stream Elements tip mechanism if you feel like super chatting the show, and we will read those here shortly as they come in. So
you absolutely need to change that to just the tip.
No, oh my gosh, yes. I will have to do that. I will
make it happen.
Change. Yeah, absolutely. So, I see the spam bots are joining us too.
No, those are my brothers from the border crossing. You know, we are watching out for you, comrade. We make sure you have papers when you cross borders. He comes into chat. Make sure people in chat have papers too. Good job, comrade.
Hail to our boy Glinter. He said, "That's why Ashton Kutcher isn't there. It's the wrong Demi."
God,
I'm just
remember when that was a
saying,
thing? Jesus.
Are
Oh,
we
my
sure
God.
it's the sexual assault and not the 6-month battle with typhus that the ghost is pissed off about?
Hey, just remember, they have the people like Demi, they have their opinions too. They're always running around like
That's my opinion!
Well done.
No,
Nicely done.
but that's the difference. They don't call them opinions. They call it their truth.
My truth, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's my favorite one nowadays. Is I have to be able to speak my truth. I'm like, well, look, that's the problem there, fucking cupcake. Your truth is probably some skewed version of reality that you formulated while you sat in your basement and stared at a wall.
Now they're taught it in college.
Yeah,
Full-on postmodernism in action.
Well,
it's insanity.
I mean, some of the stuff now that is being offered as college fare is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's full on. I mean, nobody ever told me that they could go to college and major in communism. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's crazy.
You can't even major in anything else. These
Yeah.
days.
Janet, I have seen the aerial photos.
I'm surprised the term major hasn't been phased out yet.
Oh God.
So
It
Drew,
sounds
you
like
don't
that's
send like
to me.
dick pics. You have to send like dick landscapes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's one of those things. One of those cosmic issues.
Quick, put it in panoramic.
What do they call those elevation graphs?
Was that the beginning of the year or was that last year, Drew, when you went outside naked for whatever reason? Like you thought you heard something hit the house and you knocked that tree over?
Yeah.
You gonna act like dude didn't just take that big swig straight from the bottle like that wasn't just like baller?
Hey man,
It was like,
Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels, it is.
I'm actually surprised you could pick that up one-handed. It's probably bigger than you.
Dude, you know what? I will say though, even standing at 5'3.5", I am probably taller than Stephen Walt.
You see, it's because his dong generates so much gravity, it makes everything lighter for him.
Oh man! All right, Tony said the ghost has had to bury its poop at 3 a.m, but please, Demi Lovato, teach me to be happy. Oh man!
What?
Pale Rider said, "I love to have sex with a ghost. Don't even have to make that chick breakfast."
Right?
Open the blinds, watch her dissipate.
I've seen that Rule 34.
Yep.
Oh
You're
man!
The trio sounds like a Walton thing. Speaking of Walton, you know who's taller than Walton? My Batwoman Funko Pop that the Rookie Critics sent to me for Christmas. This is also taller than Walton, standing in at a whopping 3 3/4 inches tall. It was. I wouldn't have bought a Batwoman Funko Pop, but Rookie sent it to me. I was like, she'll be with me when I review this shit show, buddy. She'll be right with me.
I'll tell you what, you guys missed it. When we went up there for JJ service and everything, when we went to the Waffle House that JJ used to go to, it was so cute watching Walton climb up on that table. It looked like that scene out of Star Wars where the little bat was reaching up for the drink from the bartender.
Yeah.
That was a Waffle House. Because him climbing up on the table anywhere else would be a totally different story.
Oh man!
Yep.
Oh man!
At a Waffle House, that's the most normal thing that'll happen all day.
Yep. That's how you clean the table off.
Yeah, I just, I think back on this year and all the shit that we've seen has just been absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it started off with the January 6th stuff, and obviously that in itself was a huge setup. That was the first of, I think, one of the big false flag setups of the entire year, which we know because, listen, I was there, folks. So if you go through all the archive videos on here, surprisingly, YouTube has still not pulled that stream down, by the way. because it's not. It doesn't have any hashtags on it. Doesn't have anything. So I think it flew under the radar, but it's still there. My stream from that day, and you can clearly see that it was nowhere near what the mainstream media coverage was. So, obviously right there, the media started to separate themselves and show that there was a blatant misinformation narrative on their part. And then, of course, that same evening, later that evening after the incident happened, you essentially had most of the members of the establishment in Congress tell you that they were declaring soft war on the American people. If you're not with us, you're against us, basically. And they said that those of you that are against the government are basically enemies of the state. So that I know, putting it in those kind of crude terms, that's a real crude way of describing it, but that's the way that they presented it to you folks.
It's not a lot.
They're getting
sitting there and telling you, comparing this shit to Pearl Harbor, number one, and things like 9/11. I mean, give me a break.
Another thing, they say it's the worst thing since the Civil War. The Civil War, bad things happen, but I don't consider the Civil War bad. That was actually a good thing to happen, And they talk about it like they shed a dark light on that. Now, 9/11, that was bad. The Civil War, we finally lived up to what our founding fathers laid out for us,
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. That's a little bit a bit of a misnomer. There's been a lot of lies that have been spread about that shit too, and they as much as everybody wants to say that war was fought over slavery, that is not why it started.
No, it was money.
It was started over how they were taxing the South, and the South was getting pissed off. And quite honestly, the whole idea of freeing the slaves didn't come until much later on. And there was actually an article. It was in our Harper's Ferry newspaper, and General Grant said that he thought he was fighting a war for slavery. He would have drawn his sword for the other side. But there was a guy, he was in Batman. He's a comedian, Robert Wool. He did a documentary about that, and he was talking about that kind of stuff. And he said something that was very poignant to something like this: is history is written by the winners.
Yep, history.
So as cancel culture keeps destroying stuff, what are you seeing them doing? They're destroying history. They're tearing down statues. They're trying to eliminate things from books because they don't want that stuff to be there to paint them in a bad light.
Yeah, 100%.
It's also the exact moment that federalism got completely perverted. So, I mean, you go through like the Federalist Papers, and it is not the system that we have right now. It isn't even close to it.
Yeah, hail that 70s rock band. Great to see you, my friend. Hail Rider says that war was not about slavery. Yeah, 100%. It's Trina says Abraham Lincoln was ready to sign an amendment that would have made slavery permanent. So yeah, it wasn't the major issue on the table. Let's be real. It was about taxes and things of that nature. Because even back then, taxes were stupid. Low Spec, great to see you, man. Low Spec Linux laptop, and of course, I couldn't forget the fact that we had JM 0-hour discussions with JM Cruz. Hail, buddy, great to see you as well. So a lot of our Dix Division brothers and sisters chilling up in the chat. Appreciate you. This show is not the same without you guys, man. I love it. So,
fun fact: Drew is also his own unique Dix Division.
Just him. He's the anchor member.
Janet says, "I want to see Mike Pence get it." Well, he is going to get his, Janet, only because, listen, he wants to run in 24. That guy will not get.
He won't make it out of the primary.
No, he will not make it out of the primary. It's
no.
Like, people know.
I know people that were ardent Trump supporters that don't like Mike Pence as far as they control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
no,
Mike Pence was for the more GOP kind of establishment voters
Yeah.
to come over and vote for Trump.
Yeah,
Yep.
Not just that, but
he's tied up in the establishment for sure. He's part of the problem. Mutant Bamhammer, what is going on, buddy? Put my Jar Jar pipe on the street.
Pepe.
Pepe.
Not pipe.
I'll put my pipe on the street.
There's already too much pipe on this.
All I needed to know about Mike Pence, and I, like I said, I did vote for Trump twice, but that's because there was no libertarian option that was viable to vote for. So it's like, and Trump was an outsider. You know, he came in as kind of an outlaw. Compared to like the GOP status quo, which is fucking laughable at best. But Pence, when I heard he pushed conversion therapy, I was like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Like, that is archaic.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing as the trans lobby pushing their shit.
Yep.
You know?
They're just off their fucking rockers. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah. Well, but it's the same principle. So you can't. One isn't better than the other. They're both those approaches suck, and we know that.
Yeah.
Let people grow up into who they're going to be and just try to instill the best values you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a question for that, though, real quick, about the Trump thing. I just want to throw this in there. What do you think would have happened if the Democrats decided that they were going to allow him to run? Because originally he tried to run as a Democrat. And it failed badly, and that's why he wound up going to the Republicans. Do you think if he would have gotten that chance to run again under Democrat banner, if he would have got in?
No.
The progressives have taken over too much of the Democrat Party.
Yeah. Republicans are weak, so he could force his way on them. And I don't think
he would have done it because he wouldn't have been countering Hillary Clinton, which played a lot to his favor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have let him stand for the same platform that he ran on. Because it was moderate, but they would have tried. If he wanted to be the Democrats' choice, he would have had to play ball in their favor. I mean,
oh yeah.
And they have the super delegates, so they, obviously Bernie beat Hillary Clinton in 2016, but because of their super delegates, they can choose who they want.
and that whole super delegate system, that's a crock of shit too. It's just the whole thing is, he would have never been accepted on that side because he's too moderate, and I think when it gets down to it, the guy actually is, he's an old school dude. He likes tradition. He likes, America the way it's supposed to be. So he was never going to fit in with them anyway. Matt Vader, Salty Nerd podcast fame, I believe. Great to see you, buddy. So glad Matt Vader's here. But Trump wouldn't have fit in on that side, really he's a square peg in a round hole on the Republican side, but he has essentially started the movement that is reshaping the Republican Party.
Well, it's because he has a spine. Very few, like outside of like Ron DeSantis. I mean, there's very few Republicans that I have any. Rand Paul, you're wrong, Rand Paul.
You're wrong, Rand Paul. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah, so you can end up on the. There's we've got 250,000 at the ready. 250,000 at the ready and millions more on the way.
The problem is, Fauci. The problem is, Fauci, is that your credibility's gone. Everyone knows you're a liar, liar, pants on fire.
You're wrong, Paul. You're wrong. You just got to trust the science. I am the science.
Is it true, Fauci? Is it true that after you finished up with the Beagles with your sandfly test, you were moving on to Girl Scouts?
I don't have to talk about that.
Talk about a backbone. This dude has been physically attacked. Him and his wife have been swarmed by mobs, and Rand Paul, he sticks to what he believes in. You know, like they fucking cost him half of one of his lungs or something. Like attacking him when he's mowing his lawn.
Yeah.
Dude doesn't back down, so I'll give him that.
Yep. Was it in 2012? I think I voted for Ron Paul. I liked Ron. I liked Ron Paul, man. I liked what he stood for.
All I have to say is listen, you can't speak to someone that way, Senator Paul. That is the science. I am the science.
You need to listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about. Screw your freedom. Stop worrying about it. Pay attention to me. I am the vaccinator. You will do what you are told.
I think the world's done listening to Austrians already. I think we learned that one in the 30s.
I think this translates perfectly into a nice piece of cloud world that I just shared in the private chat. If you want to pull that up, Drew.
Let's see. Let's see what you got, dude.
You've got Ron Paul's son versus the longest bureaucrat in the federal government. Like, that's a match.
So there was actually people that were showing this off on Twitter, you guys, that why is this even a thing? A fucking Fauci action figure? I mean, seriously? Why is this
Drew, this is part of my new delivery system. See, what happens is the kids open up the figure and a bunch of needles fly out and hit him in the face.
The points of articulation continue to change. It's never the same.
How many boosters does it come with? Is it accurate?
Yeah, if
calling
Vinny
it an
was
action
here, Vinny would
figure
be
is
able
pretty
to explain
generous.
it better.
America's favorite immunologist. Where can I get my Tom Frieden figure? I want the guy that was the head of the CDC during Ebola. I want my Tom Frieden figure.
Yeah, where's the runner-up?
Oh God,
That's all right. We are actually. I was talking to Vinny about it, and we're trying to figure out if there's a way to create a transforming Fauci figure that turns into a giant booster needle.
There's a listen. This thing is $20, and all I can say is take that $20, buy a T-shirt in my Stream Element store, and have it Beware the Drew shirt because it's much better than this crap.
You know what? If somebody has got nothing better to do and they want to buy that figure and send it to me, the Guinea Pig Collective will review it. And we will dial that thing up properly.
Tommy, I think the beauty part is that
I was
toy,
just going to shoot it with my AR-15.
Because that's made in China, it's going to come preloaded with the Rona, so you're going to get your booster anyway.
No. See, I'm gonna put on like a complete hazmat suit and open it outside.
Oh my gosh. Maria says, I'll hit anyone who wants a Fauci crochet figure, forget it. Because she makes crochet figures, so she will definitely not be filling an order for that one. Janet says, get back on the chopper.
She gets it. She gets it.
Oh, Matt Bader said, who the fuck spends money on that nonsense, dude? You would be surprised.
Yeah.
Senator Paul, I did not, Senator Paul, I did not hurt those beagles. I did not.
Well, the video evidence shows you touching them like Bill Cosby.
Oh, Jesus.
That was in the name of science, Senator Paul.
Well,
science
isn't a kink for everybody there, Fauci. I'm curious, how many booster seats do you need when you go to a restaurant and sit at a booth versus a high top?
At least 4, but that's not 4, but it's not the issue here, Senator Paul. I'm 5'5". I'm taller than Stephen Walton.
Well, I know for sure that he did get him. He did get him.
I'll be invoking my Fifth Amendment privileges from here on out.
I'm pretty sure that Stephen has an autographed Fauci booster seat.
Oh man. Oh God, this is great. Toxic Man Flu just tipped $20. We'll Stream Elements because I know that there is probably a message attached to that one, so I will go ahead and see what Tox had to say. So, by the way, hopefully, you guys in the chat, I was wondering what everybody got of note, and this is just random off topic, but I wondered, what was your favorite thing you got for Christmas? Because I can tell you the thing that actually was my favorite wasn't something I got, but what I got from my mom, which was I found this really unique, it's almost like a snow globe in it, and it has inside a little inscription that says, "Thank you for being my mom." And I'll tell you, I didn't know that I could find the perfect gift for her, but I did, and it meant the absolute world to that lady. And I am just, I'm very, very, very happy. And it's funny where I found it, because I actually found it at like the shop inside a Cracker Barrel.
Nice.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah. All right.
I really thought you were going to say you found it in a room in a crack house. So I was like, hey, that's where I thought you were going.
No, Tommy. Best wishes for a safe and healthy New Year's, says Tina Bojan from earlier. Toxic Man Flu says, if you stack the U.S. debt in $1,000 bills, it would be 900 miles high. Drew can get a tug job for $20 and reach the moon. I think we have solved the national debt issue, but Drew tug jobs. Hashtag beware the Drew. Nice.
Apparently, you've also solved the space program, too.
just put ladder rungs on them.
Hey, you made the space ladder.
Yeah. Oh, man. That is indeed a space needle of epic proportions.
To infinity and beyond.
And beyond.
But no, it's what are we sharing, Zach?
So you were asking, I have the same thing. I love giving gifts more than getting them. So I gave my friend Macklin made it in the chat, her own junior officer uniform for Battlestar. And I know a lot of people saw this on Twitter, but I just like to show it off a little bit. So.
Yeah, these are the best cosplay BST uniforms that I've seen.
Yeah, and you need to send me your measurements so I can send you yours.
I know. I want to get one because we definitely and I will, dude. I get that.
I don't know if you want to do that, Zach. I mean, think about all that material that you're going to have.
I know that's going to be
at the
so.
bottom.
Janet, I can send them the blouse. It's okay.
Janet says I bought myself a new bed. Nice.
Nice.
Is it a brass bed?
Dragon Master said, I wanted some movies, physical media, so I got Captain America Winter Soldier and Doctor Strange. Nice, good.
Captain America Winter Soldier's fucking that is
up tier.
That movie's
that
is one of my favorites in the entire MCU right there.
Got
that
a new computer chair. There you go, bro. I shout out to Secret Lab because that's where I got my chair. And they still make really good ones. I know Tommy got a new chair this year too.
I need
Secret
one.
Lab.
Yeah, I was gonna say, send me that info, man. I'm gonna need a new chair here, because this one that my wife took from her office is not very comfortable.
Well, the one that I picked up in what was that? Staples. I picked it up in Staples. It's the Emerge brand of chairs. It's actually really good. The only problem I have now is where the sidearm is, where the spring connects and everything. It's squeaking like crazy, and unfortunately, I'm out of like WD or oil or anything. So the squeaking is driving me insane.
We know what that squeaking really is. We know what that squeaking really is, Tommy.
It's Tommy Tubin.
Yeah, lay off the beans.
No. That's Walt.
I gotta show this off. I got this badass comic book box. My wife got me this. Yeah, she's like, cause I got like one of the the regular long, like the long boxes, and it's long and black. Go ahead and make your jokes. But she's like, I wanted. She goes, I saw that, and I had to get. I was like, this is pretty dope. Cause I got a lot of like independent comics I back that are in, awesome packaging. It's like I want to put them in something, and I got a bigger box. So I can put them in here. which is nice. I actually got a lot of cool shit. I got this too. Follow Your Dreams with a Freddy Krueger glove on it. I'm like, yeah,
Nice, dude.
yeah. I'm like, I was like, yeah.
What is that? The standard cardboard ones?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a standard size. Yeah, short comic art box.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, the probably the boxes. If you got any of those boxes,
I do. They won't fit in there.
They're not going to fit. Unfortunately,
Maria got her Legolas cosplay.
Oh,
Nice.
Legolas. That's cool as hell.
Yeah. I got a Shogun. He's my slave now.
Can you say slave on the air? Is that legal to say slave? I'm just asking.
Glinder said, Winter Soldier is to MCU what the Dark Knight is to DC movies. Gap says, I got the Mezzo 1978 Christopher Reeve limited edition figure with the Fortress of Solitude. Damn!
Very nice.
That is
Nice.
dope.
Hell yeah.
Just to come with the horse.
Really?
Yeah.
Perry had me tell me about this earlier. Apparently, Walton has got a brand new one today. He is now also the shoe historian.
Nice. Nice talk. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna have to remix that Tarantino clip from Dusk Till Dawn and put Walton in it. You know it's what I'm talking about too. But they're the RV.
Hey, hail to Channel 66. How's it going, buddy? Great to see you here. Nelson,
I just
gentlemen,
subscribed to them.
hail to
Channel
Nelson
66.
the
I'll
gentleman.
go sub to them right now.
I
Yeah.
subscribed to them yesterday. Boom.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that people still had a nice Christmas. That we both gave and received some really awesome stuff. It's important that in this changing world, where they're trying to take away tradition at every turn, that we sat there and Christmas was Christmas, thankfully. Not this Kwanzaa bullshit or anything else. Christmas was Christmas. And
They tried to steal the goddamn menorah.
Yeah.
Damn Kwanzaa.
Oh,
Get the fuck
God,
out of here
man,
with
that
that
video-
shit.
That video with Lori Lightfoot was, oh my God, that was so cringy, dude.
The College Republicans
Hail time.
tweeted it out. The College Republicans tweeted out Happy Kwanzaa. Like
I
I
saw
saw someone
that.
screenshot it and said peak GOP moment.
Well, you Tony, because when they came up with the concept of Kwanzaa, because that was probably one of the first woke replacement things, because that was quite a few years ago when they came up with that. But
Yeah.
the thing is that whole thing, we knew it was a joke. People knew it was stupid and it was fake, but they went along with it. It was just. And that was one of the fake things that they come up with. It's along the same line of thinking as the quote Black national anthem. Okay, same concept where they're like, well, we got to make sure that we have this token holiday, especially to appease the Black people, and it's like most Black people that are actually sane thinking Americans are like, hello, I'm already celebrating Christmas. I don't need that. It's Christmas. But
It's like they don't realize how big Christianity is in the Black community.
Yes, thank you.
And that's another thing with like Latinos as well. It's huge. Catholicism, Christianity, it's huge amongst Latino, and they tend, a lot of Latinos, a lot more than people would think based on mainstream, are conservative, because they're huge on the family unit, the familial unit as a whole. That is like the center of everything for them, and their religion. And it's like, that gets swept under the rug a lot though by your mainstream stuff. They don't like to talk about it.
Oh yeah,
what was that? 1966 that they started that?
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
66.
Yeah, Kwanzaa was started by a warlord. Awesome.
I was going to say, it's like they don't understand how big a continent Africa is. Every time they attribute somebody to being African, it's like, oh, African is one culture. Like, dude, Africa is the size of several countries stacked on top of each other, and there's so many cultures in that continent. Like, it's not a monoculture. It's ridiculous anytime someone tries to attribute that.
well, you think about the different belief systems just between like tribes, let alone different ends of the fucking whole continent. It's like, yeah, they just like to boil everything down to, and it's so funny because all they're doing is projecting everything. It's just everything is just projection.
Like, oh, I'm African. You do what part of Africa? Africa's fucking gigantic. Africa's not a country.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Glenzer, don't get me started on Madden, bro. Like, seriously, the EA has just taken and destroyed that franchise.
What did they do to Madden?
Oh, it's just been like the same recycled bullshit every year. It's pretty funny, like, you go back to the earlier editions of that game. They had more features in like 2006 or 2005 than it ever did in 2021.
I was playing Madden 11 last night on my PS2. I play that, like, that's between my Sega Genesis, my N64, my PlayStation 2, and sometimes my NES Classic. I'll play with my son. But yeah, that's like the only game I play on
I think
PS2
he was saying,
usually.
rest in peace, John Madden.
Yeah.
John Madden passed away, and Ace is a place for me. Boom, Brett Favre.
Boom. Remember Brett Favre, but boom. Yeah. Oh God, dude. Yeah. He'd be in there with Pat Summerall, and Pat Summerall would be like, "Hey, what about Corin Robinson, John?"
Corin Robinson's best corner. You see him out of the blocks. He runs about a 4.3. Pat, have you ever seen anything like that, Pat? 4.340, Pat.
Oh God.
Hey, Drew, I think Janet's saying she didn't get your delivery.
He's actually.
Oh man.
Damn it.
You gotta mail that shit out, Drew.
Oh well.
No, he's just got to whip it across the pond, like fishing.
I can just unroll it like a long red carpet. There you go.
It's my dick in the box.
Looking at the Steam sale while I listen, Stellaris and Hearts of Iron 4 are intriguing me. Thoughts, Matt Bader? I have Hearts of Iron 4. It is very fun. If you like a thinking person's game, and you really enjoy history, that is a very fun game, and I would suggest that. For those of you that really, really enjoy history, Hearts of Iron 4 is a fun game.
Nice.
Yeah, John Madden did just die. Yeah, legit. Like Kendo just messaged me.
Oh man.
Who dies in between Christmas and New Year's besides Sonny Bono?
Boom, John Madden.
Yeah.
Should I not have said that yet?
George Michael went that way too, didn't he?
Yeah,
right after
he
Christmas.
did.
Oh,
Like,
he went on
last
Christmas. I
Christmas,
think.
Yeah,
I
that's
gave
right,
you
it
my.
was.
Awesome one said, I wanted a taco in a box. Taco Bell was sold out. DZ Canadian just tipped $10. So we will go and take a look at what he said.
See, I've got the opposite
Canadian.
problem. We have plenty of tacos, but they don't have any boxes left. They just give you bags.
DZ Canadian for $10 says, I just want to wish everyone here a happy new year. It's been a crazy 2 years. I wish the best for everyone, and let's go out and wake up more people from the Matrix. Cheers. Politics aside, of course, he said at the beginning. So thank you, TC Canadian. Yeah, I echo that sentiment, my friend. And listen, that's what we're doing with this show. We're trying to bring a nice balance of levity and comedy, but also truth and good discussion about what's going on. Because the more people that we can wake up, and the more people that we can just get to go back to using, common sense and their reasoning skills. Okay, the more that we can reach in that manner, the more I think that we're going to make a difference. I think 2022 is going to be huge for that. So
truth, justice, and F your pronouns.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, pronouns are, again, that's such a
Going
clown
right back
world
to the
thing.
Demi Lovato video.
Yeah.
Pronouns are as useless as the Black National Anthem.
Yeah, I mean,
There,
you
I
know,
fucking said it. It doesn't exist.
no.
There's one
it
national
was.
anthem.
Because
One.
you know, and you know, the sad thing is that's actually a beautiful song, and the guy
It is.
that wrote that song probably, you know, is turning over in his grave if he knew the way that they bastardized his song for that.
Yep. It's like
You know.
there's one national anthem. You know that's
Mhm.
it. That's why it's called the national anthem. It's not, hey, and now rise for the national anthems, because here we like to regress into history that has failed. So we're gonna segregate everything again. I saw a post. I can't remember if it was on Twitter or Facebook. There was and I don't know if it was. I never really looked into it, but it was like a school thing, and it said there was like segregated playground time for families of color, and I'm like,
Disgusting.
and it's like from this year, you know, like recent. I'm like, what? It's as bad as the Arizona State thing, you know, like you know what I'm talking about, the Kyle Rittenhouse thing with Arizona State. People are freaking out there, and they had that the area of color, I guess, for students of color, you know, where whites aren't allowed, and there was this whole thing. This is if our forefathers could look at us now and see the petty, ridiculous shit that we are squabbling over and letting divide us as a country, George Washington would take his wooden teeth out and slap the shit out of everybody in Congress. I mean, he would have Let's Go Brandon over his knee, paddling him like the little.
I don't think he'd want to do that. He might get shit on.
Oh,
This
man.
is true, but it's just this whole thing. It is, if you don't laugh at how stupid some of this stuff is. I mean, you know, you obviously have to take it, but you have to laugh, or else you will go literally insane.
Well,
And
you know,
that's how
I don't
that's how
even think
super villains are made.
You don't even need to go back that far. I mean, really, with all the ridiculousness that they're doing right now, you only need to go back to like Martin Luther King. If Martin Luther King could see what they're trying to do now,
Oh
with
my
black people
God.
saying, "Oh, they need their own special time to be able to do shit." That's all the shit that he was fighting against as part of segregation. And they're so goddamn stupid, they don't even see it.
Somewhere the ghost of George Wallace is smiling down on the Democrats.
I don't know if it's like they're stupid or if they're just so clever they found a way to bring it back and make people accept it.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
They've always been pro segregation and
Yep.
pro racism. It's just they found a way to repackage it.
Mm-hmm. And
Well,
monetize it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why a lot of this is a huge fucking grift, man. You know,
Yep.
but the Glinzer said Black National Anthem, the theme from Shaft.
You know what?
I have that. I have that vinyl record, and I'm not even joking. I have the Shaft soundtrack by Isaac Hayes. That is in my record collection.
Anonymous says common sense is a foreign concept they just don't understand. Yeah. Awesome One said Egypt has the Russian Jew American Dubcock anthem. Nice.
That is strictly speculation, Awesome One. But I guarantee you tomorrow, Kennedy is fired.
Mutant Bamhammer says that's Supreme Heretic. I saw the segregated playground time picture, but it was in black and white. Someone edited it to that and made commenters guess if it was 1950s or 2021. Yeah, and you know what? And we're going in that circle. We're just going. You know, the pendulum is just swinging the opposite way this time. We're going the exact same circle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
And
who was it that like repackaged Mein Kampf into like a feminist manifesto and got it published?
That was James Lindsay and Peter Boghossian, I believe.
Yeah.
It was, they were doing a bunch of different articles.
Yeah. Trina said they want us to go to war with each other. Yeah, you're not wrong. They do.
Yeah.
Because Janet says my pronoun is real woman who likes real men. Nice. I like it.
So she's not. She doesn't like the feminine penis, then, huh?
No.
What a cis heteronormative bigot female. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
I've been hanging out with Mad Mardigan too much.
Gap Stargate said, I'm so flabbergasted how many sheep there are in the country that just follow and don't question. Yes.
Yeah.
They've got
Are you saying that because Mad Mardigan has a feminine penis?
No, because for some reason on our streams that always comes up with one of our Florida stories, and it's like it's always right there. You're talking about
Sorry, brother. I thought.
No,
you
go
were
ahead, bro.
No, I was just
Go-
gonna
no,
say
you're
it's
fine.
cowardice, dude. Like they know what's going on, they know something's wrong, but they're too scared to acknowledge it, so they just put on their blinders and follow along.
Well, they've been teaching fear. They want you to be afraid before you think.
Well, yeah, and we haven't even gotten into the whole, way that the coup was handled this year. But before we do, just we're talking about the I think off the charts race baiting. When you think back on all the incidences over the years, or over this year, as a matter of fact, with Juicy and with friggin' Bubba, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy because and these were so gaslit. These were so gaslit. I think that's the thing that bugs me about it so badly is the way that they were gaslighted in order to inflame it, put it out there, make it all to where people immediately had to go to the card like, was this a hate crime? Was this a hate crime? No, it wasn't a fucking hate crime.
Yeah.
It's the
While
same
they
thing they did
ignore
with
Waukesha.
Yep, exactly. Same thing they did with Rittenhouse. I remember I was in school at the time when the Rittenhouse thing happened, and my psychology professor, who's actually a really cool dude, he came in and all he had seen was the news media that they have talked about from the night before, and he's saying like, "Oh, this guy was just blasting into the crowd just at random. It was a complete active shooter." And then I came back a couple of days later and was like, "Here's what actually happened, and we can, if you want to put it on the camera, we can watch the full videos of it." We didn't because there were younger people in the class as well, but it was all gaslighting, and even all the way up through the whole to the end of the trial, they were still gaslighting. They were still talking about crossing state lines. They were still talking about how the crowd should be allowed to
people
disarm
talking about that.
Yeah.
We're in such a in a lot of this stupid progressive garbage is what has kind of enabled this gaslighting culture, because it was started by the whole idea of the Twitter mob and giving so much power to the court of public opinion, where it's so easy to gaslight people because the mainstream media knows it. Look how they report all their shit. They do it in such a way it immediately starts that conversation that goes right to the gaslighting, like, oh, this is racial. It always, and they use all the major words to push that gaslighting along, all the buzzwords. And I hate that. I hate that about it, because they look to always inflame division. And that
they did that just recently too, Drew, with that guy that freaking the father that called in with the "Let's Go Brandon" thing.
Oh yeah, dude.
All those freaking
dox him
did is they start saying it was a slur.
Yeah, it's a slur. Bullshit.
And they wanted to dox him like they were some saints to go out and dox the guy because he committed so bad of a faux pas by pulling a prank on the president. My God, excuse me, he pulled a prank on the leader of the free world. Big deal. Okay.
I was gonna say, it would be a really terrible idea for them to turn that into a slur now that Biden's on video saying he agrees with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the best thing, seeing that senile old bastard just in the back. Yeah, let's go, Brandon. Yeah. Like they got you, Pop. They got you.
Well, and this is again, the hypocrisy of the mainstream right now. And Lasso Truth's right, a quote right-wing slur. That's how they try to paint it.
I wouldn't be half surprised if in the coming months, if we don't hear about they filed charges against him and tried to bring him in like they were doing parents that were speaking out in PTA meetings.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that sub, brother.
The reason they do all of that, it comes back to it's something called the hero protector narrative, to where you try to make yourself a hero protector of an oppressed class, and you do that by creating an enemy. So they're trying to create other people who are going to say anything mildly offensive as an enemy with a capital E. That way they can get other people riled up and be ready to stand beneath them as they are their hero protector, keeping back the horrible offensiveness of the rest of the world.
Well,
you got a couple of guys that got a jet.
Yeah, let me go in here and really quick check on that, because I think Tony and ETEP, they're gonna do the wrestling show, the Monday Night War stuff. So I'll let you guys get on your way. But Tony, why don't you go first? Tell them about your channel and everything else, and thanks for being here, buddy.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. And yeah, come check out the Clown World Review. Listen, like Drew said, we've got the wrestling show, the best time to be a wrestling fan, the Monday Night War retrospective, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And look, I know wrestling's not so cool now, but this show's like Blair White. You don't think you want it until you try it. And then
what are you telling us, Tony?
and
sorry,
then
what?
you end up having to make an excuse to go there every Tuesday, and your wife is wondering where you're at, and you don't put much thought into your excuse, so she ends up finding out, and then it doesn't matter. Whenever you get into a fight with her, she knows you've had a dick in your mouth. And
God, why does this sound like an Eddie Murphy apology tour?
Yeah, it does.
So come check out the Clown World Review. It's like a dick in your mouth. Thank you.
Now, I feel like we need Tricky Dick Nixon for that. I'm not a crook.
Honestly, though, thank you, everyone. It was Free Speech Gaming. It was great to meet you, man. I subbed to your channel. Zach, great to see you, brother. I might be the only person in person, like, who's seen your Battlestar get up in person, so it looks fucking snazzy every time.
Yeah, you're right, actually. On the panel.
Yeah.
You're correct.
And Drew, thanks again. ETUP, Tommy.
Awesome, brother.
See you guys soon.
I'll see you soon, buddy.
All right, and before I let ETEP go, because I know that we were talking about PsyOps and everything that was going on. ETEP, real quick, I want you to go over that stupid shit that happened earlier this year. We talk about stupidity PsyOps. Man, the shit with Whitmer, can you get any more blatant than fucking FBI setup than that?
Oh my God. So out of the 15 people that were arrested or something like that, 12 of them were FBI informants. It's like they concocted this whole thing and then basically goaded these guys into this plot where it was all FBI agents and 3 idiots. I don't know what was more embarrassing, that whole fiasco or Whitmer's husband on the phone getting told he couldn't have his boat during the early part of the pandemic. I'm not sure which was more comical. I know which was more tragic, but this whole thing, it just shows the hand of the 3-letter agencies and how they don't care anymore. They're not even trying to hide it from us.
No, they're 100% being weaponized. And they're running constant clandestine operations on the American people. It's I don't know how people can't understand that now, because there's all these things always pop up, and they're just looking to entrap people to create enemies. We go back to that concept of creating enemies. That's exactly what they want to do, because they don't have any. So they need to find them. They need to create them. All right, man. I will let you get on out of here. I just wanted you to touch on that real quick. So,
brother.
There you go, man. Tell them about yourself.
I'm ETEP Queen of ETEP Queen's The Place to Be Reviews. I am one of the rogues. You can find me Monday nights over on my channel, ETEP Queen's The Place to Be Reviews, 8:35 Eastern for Going In Raw every Wednesday night. We have Going Rogue, 8:35 Eastern on my channel. You can catch me Tuesdays here, 6:40 on Supreme Heretics. # Beware the Drew. And then over I'm headed over to the Clown World Review with my co-host, my brother Tony Tonedeaf, for the Monday Night Wars retrospective. I usually have pop culture videos all week, and I threw in an extra live stream today just because I hadn't got to stream since last week, and I missed it. So thank you, Drew, Tommy, Zach, Freeze Peach. Thank you, guys. It's been wonderful. I will catch you on the next one in chat. You guys rock, the best chat on YouTube. Thank you all. I'll see you guys.
All right.
Zach will be on tomorrow night, actually. He'll be on Going Rogue tomorrow night at 8:35 Eastern. So Brightest Day, check him out over there. And another guest to be announced. So good.
All right.
Good deal, man. I'm glad. All right, guys. See ya.
Yep.
Spending $150 million on cocaine would make sense.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that whole Whitmer situation, I think that's actually going to start exposing more of the crap that three-letter agencies pull on more of just sort of the normal people who don't pay attention to a lot of this stuff. And I think it really comes down to Trump. The establishment was ready to keep going with Hillary, and they could have done all of the stuff they're trying to do now, like especially with the jabs and the mandates. They were going to be able to do all of that in the dark. But Trump came in and threw a spoke in the work, or messed up the works. A wrench, thank you. Wrench in the spokes, yeah. Metaphors. But so they got their whole plans got pushed back 4 years, and now they're trying to double down. They're trying to catch back up, and they're slipping up a lot, and it's getting exposed. Like you were talking about January 6th earlier. If you watch the full videos of the news keeps playing the video of the guy beating on the window with a pipe or something. But if you watch the full video, he did that for 10, 15 seconds. And then a bunch of people from the crowd come in and pull him away and stop him. Nobody who was there to actually try and support, the freedom of elections and all of that stuff actually wanted to, tear down the building. That was
there's another video of someone who's going to sail their way into the building, and people try to stop him, and someone in uniform actually pushes the rest of them away and allows him to continue doing it.
Well, if we go back to, some of the stuff we were talking about earlier, is just, one of the things that didn't sit well with me, that's not set well with me the entire year, was still the fact that Ashley Babbitt's death just got glossed over, and she became a casualty of political divisiveness. And it's terrible, because here's a veteran that was essentially murdered, and it's being treated as a righteous act, and it's just absolutely, to me, it's reprehensible. I'm sorry. I think that she was killed in cold blood, and I think that there was no justice given to her family whatsoever.
And there may never be.
Yeah,
unfortunately, there may never be.
Imagine being her husband, bro. Imagine feeling like that guy. I mean, that's just terrible. It's just fucking terrible, And Trina said, "Yeah, the left does celebrate her death." And Godzillionaire, thank you for being here, my friend. Absolutely great to see you, my friend. It's just terrible. It's fucking terrible what happened to her, and that's, again, they celebrate shit like that. It's and this is
just like they demonized oh Jesus, why am I blanking on his name? The kid that shot those guys.
Rittenhouse.
I don't know why I was blanking on his name. They demonized him, yet that one kid who traveled even further with the handgun, the one that wasn't legally even
Grosskreutz, yeah.
Yeah. They applauded him like he was a hero. Here's a guy they're talking about crossing state lines, and they went all this distance, blah. This person went even further. And they just gloss right over that. And like I said,
and was a convicted felon.
Yeah. He was not supposed to have a firearm. Wasn't allowed to have one. Had one anyway. They just glossed right over that, and they made him out to be some kind of hero.
Well, you're allowed to break the rules so long as you're doing it to challenge the systems of oppression and power that have created within our country. And yeah, I can't say that one straight.
Wow, cheesy Canadian said Capitol Police beat another woman too. It's on video. Yeah, I remember that. I really do actually remember that. I'll have to go back through and check that out. Thank you, cheesy Canadian.
Well, there was the other one, the one girl who was a paramedic, and she had the boyfriend who was a drug dealer, and the cops went looking for him.
Mm.
And he fired
Oh,
at the cops,
yeah.
and then they fired through the door, and unfortunately, she
Oh.
got hit.
Yeah.
Breonna Taylor.
That Breonna Taylor, that's actually
Breonna Taylor, yeah.
there's a lot of nuance to that situation, and they actually in the end it was a good dispensing of justice because there were no charges on anyone. It was basically a wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. It was her ex-boyfriend who was the drug dealer, and her current boyfriend was staying with her. He was legally carrying the firearm that he was allowed to have. Basically, the cops were beating on the door, and they didn't know who it was because they couldn't hear them. Apparently, they were very thick doors, very thick windows, and nobody could hear anybody. So the cops are yelling on one side. He's yelling on the other side. The cops bust down the door. What's up?
I thought that was a no-knock warrant.
It was, but
they knocked anyway.
They knocked anyway, and pretty much when they finally bust down the door, the guy doesn't know what's going on. He's thinking the boyfriend is thinking that it's her ex, the drug dealer, and so he starts firing as soon as the plainclothes cops start going through the door. But as soon as they fire back, they happen to hit her in the leg, and I believe they nicked her femoral artery, and she died. Basically, it was a bad situation all around. Everybody, however, everybody acted in their own best interest in that moment, and they turned it into a situation that it wasn't. The mainstream media tried to turn it into a big racist situation. It was just bad. It was people acting in their own best interest on both sides, and it turned out poorly.
Well, quite honestly, I mean, here's one thing I will say, though. I think if they executed the warrant how it was with no knock, if they had just burst in, I think there probably would have been less likely of a chance of gunfire happening.
Maybe. It's hard to say. I mean, I keep the gun right next to me at night, so you never know. If somebody busted my door, it's I'm seconds away from being able to fire.
I got some great comments here in the chat that I want to get to, guys. So Maria said, people who celebrate other people's death is just wrong. Yes, it is. It is.
Especially when they pretend to be the moral ones after the fact.
Yes. And those people are ghouls the way that they celebrate some of this stuff. Look what happened when Rush Limbaugh died, the absolute terrible comments that came out of the left. It was just absolutely terrible. Anonymous says, Trump may be the master of the deal, but he was naive about people. His best people, quote, were the worst. And, you're not wrong about that. Yeah, and people need to understand there are pros and cons to every president, every elected official. And, there are some people that really do kind of follow him like he's, the harbinger of a deity, and he's really not. Remember, there is no one person that's going to save us, folks. It's on us, and that's the thing you have to remember. I mean, I hold the man in pretty decent regard, but I also know that he has pros and cons to him. And, by and large, the policies that he instituted were great, but there were also some lackluster things that happened and some just things that happened that I personally didn't agree with. So, I mean, it's a mixed bag with him. Most of it was positive and I approved, but there is some negative there. Apparently vigilante justice is fine if vigilantes shoot conservatives. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, like the guy in Portland, the Patriot Prayer guy.
Toxic man flu, and he just he brings up the situation in Waukesha, which again, absolutely terrible what happened with that. And look how quickly that got buried. And Tox is right. The kid that shot people at the school in Dallas, and he was out the next day. This is a war on white people, and yes, it is. Yes, it is. And guess what? That got started and gaslit by Twitter mobs. Twitter mob mentality. And the mainstream media runs with it, gaslights it, and this is what you have. Next thing is white people are canceled from society.
And all the bullshit around that one in Wisconsin too. They were trying to say that originally somebody was trying to stab him. They were trying to stab him in a moving vehicle, and he was running for his life, and unfortunately a bunch of people got plowed over. I don't know. I mean, the last time you were in a parking lot, if you hit something, I don't care if it was a sign, was your first thought, I better keep going? Why stop now? Let's just take out every sign in this parking lot before I do stop.
Anonymous, yes, I did see that video. That's a very clear video. That, by the way, the media did. A lot of the social media companies did a lot of suppressing of that one because there was a guy blatantly agitating the crowd, and everybody was calling the guy out for being a Fed. And this is the kind of stuff that does get suppressed. And
So
they do
did
that.
you hear? No, I know this is just speculation, just a rumor, but they were saying that there was a couple of people in Congress that were part of that. That they've supposedly been named.
I wouldn't be surprised, Tommy. I think there's something to that. Godzillionaire says, I don't know about that. I'm okay when pedos get smoked. Yeah, I think we all are.
Yup.
I think we all
It's
are.
a lot cheaper than
Godzillionaire.
letting the state deal with it.
That's right.
Yeah, especially because they give them jobs with high-paying salaries.
Yeah. Immediately hired at CNN.
Yeah, and or they get a job in the 3-letter agencies where it's like, hey, you want to work for the FBI at CIA? Yeah, just be a pedo. We don't mind. Oh, man.
Or to get hired as a surgeon general or something.
Yeah, I mean it's unbelievable. Another big thing that happened this year that I wanted to bring up, and this kind of goes along the spiritual aspect, and a lot of you guys probably know that I'm a believer. I believe in God. I am a Catholic, and that's the way that I believe. But there is a spiritual aspect to this warfare. Back when I had my appearance on the John B. Wells program, I explained that to John, where you can feel that it's a good versus evil vibe, and that is most definitely true. And I think the event that drove that home was the crazy shit that happened at that Travis Scott show, the thing in Texas, the symbolism, the way that the really weird way that people died. The fact that people talked about, being pulled towards that stage, the fact that there was, that whole thing of that symbolism of the portal being on stage, the whole thing at the beginning of the show, when you walking into the entryway, you had to walk through, this mock-up head of Travis Scott through the mouth. And it's almost, you could draw the direct correlation to the burn pit at Sodom if you're looking at scripture. But, there's also the fact that, that to me was the most modern day representation of a black mass out in public, where there was actually people that perished. And it was really weird because I know that it's going to sound, when I say this, like, then there'll be some of you say, come on, Drew, you're kind of off your rocker with this, but I think it was a human sacrifice event. I mean, that's what my gut really tells me.
You're wrong, Drew. You're wrong. What everything is you got to follow the science. Stop worrying about God. Follow the science. I am the science. And, don't worry about the booster. It's just a mark of the beast. I mean, the booster. Just get it done, Drew. Stop worrying about it.
Terminus S said, I heard many celebrities are into some dark occultic shit. Yes, they are. You
look at like Bohemian Grove.
Look at that Abramovich lady that does that weird art, and she does the spirit cooking shit. That's real, folks.
I mean, guys like Cameron Pasha have all but confirmed these things without explicitly saying it.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Yeah, Maria, if you look up the stuff that happened at that Travis Scott concert, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. It really is scary. Trina, by the way, Trina had a really interesting interaction on Twitter with the pro-abortion people, where said some really vile and despicable shit, and she's right. There's a real soulless vibe that comes from those people. But you know, the thing is, when you get into the blatant stuff, like that Travis Scott situation, I'm sorry, you can't tell me that there isn't a spiritual war going on here right alongside the war for our culture, for our history, and the whole 9 yards, the very real, tangible war. There's a spiritual one at the same time. And it is a good versus evil thing.
I mean, even for someone like myself who's not particularly religious, I can definitely see it as a war of, you know, the moral versus the amoral. And like Trina was saying, just bringing up with the abortion crowd that she was arguing with, I mean, they have to completely obfuscate what a human life is. And it's the way I put it is I don't say pro-choice or pro anything else. It's, are you pro-feticide or are you pro-life?
Gap Stargate says, Gary Wayne, the Genesis 6 conspiracy, how secret societies and descendants of giants plan to enslave humankind. I really, you know, I'm going to look into that book, Gap. Thank you for that suggestion. Terminus says, I believe there's secret trans among celebrities as well. I really don't think Brie Larson is a real female. For example, I wonder sometimes, Terminus, it's funny because, man, do you see her feet in some of those pictures?
She doesn't walk, she slaps the ground.
That lady got some
I told you
feet,
before, I've told you all before, Brie Larson is a shaved Bigfoot.
No,
Hey, man,
I think so.
Hey. From the vocal cords to the ankles, she's a very lovely woman.
Oh man. All right. I want to also kind of touch you know, we want to shift focus a little bit to the handling of the pandemic this year, because I've got we've got roughly about 20 or so minutes, about 25 minutes, and I want to get this in. So I think overall we can look back and say that the rollout of authoritarianism on that front was just, I mean, more blatant than anybody could ever think would happen. But it just, the whole confirmation, you know, from Australia to Germany to everything else, which was like, you know, Australia admitting, for example, it's a new world order, not even hiding things. The footage coming from Australia of the COVID camp, the acknowledgement that they have these in France, that they have these in Germany,
Canada.
Then you get to the whole papers, please thing with the vax passports, and now
screw your freedoms.
Now what we've seen just in NYC, where I don't know if you guys saw the video on Twitter or caught it, where they were harassing a child that was in a restaurant with this folks. I don't know if he was there just eating dinner or he was there for a birthday party or whatever. They were harassing a child. The cops were. About
they showed one they were harassing I want to say it was a young teenager, probably like maybe about 12 or something like that. The cops came into the school and they actually put that kid in cuffs and drug him out of the school because he did not have the mask on.
Yeah. I can't freaking go to the beach without a vax card. I know that's crazy.
Ridiculous.
And Maria is speaking from the perspective, by the way, she is from this is in Peru that's happening.
It doesn't matter how young or how old you are, they're going to try to condition you to accept this as being normal. They're going to press you and press you and press you until you either fight back or submit.
No, they said it early on, Zach. I mean, they said this is the new normal. They said it early on. They were prepping people for it. And you know what? And even that freaking idiot Fauci, you know, get your boosters. Even that jackass. He was saying from the beginning. He was saying from the beginning that, oh, yeah, we're going to probably need more than one vaccine and we're probably going to need boosters going forward, like every so many months or maybe even weeks, depending. He said that shit early on. The whole time when Biden was talking about what he said, 100 days to curb it. That is all he needed, and he was going to be able to curb it. And of course, we all remember Biden early on saying that there's no way that he's ever going to impose mandates. There's no way he's ever going to impose a lockdown. And what did he do less than a month later after saying that? Imposed curfews and lockdowns and everything else.
And you could get banned off the internet like Dave Rubin if you said there were going to be mandates. I mean, he said that, and then within 30 days, there were actual mandates out there.
Hey, I like Paw Patrol, Godzilla.
Oh, well, we have a friend of ours, Bear. I mean, he knew about what was going to happen as far as lockdowns coming. He knew about it ahead of time because he has a friend that, I can't say where, but that friend had actually gotten I get what is that traveling papers early, like weeks before they ever even announced it.
Yeah, good on you, Maria. And that's the right attitude to have. Listen, and I always say this, united non-compliance. That's the real big way to fight back on this. Hail Shellback, by the way.
I watched V for Vendetta again recently and didn't realize just how prophetic that was. But like along with what Maria was just saying with, she's not going to bend the knee. It's very much that I think one of the main messages of that movie is the power of just saying no. And how the government can't control the population if all we do is say, fuck you, no.
Yeah, become ungovernable.
Yeah, and that movie has a lot of powerful statements, and even when it's not even saying anything, and it's just showing people just rising up like that. It was one of the reasons why I used it in one of the clips when I'm talking about Rogue Resistance and some of the other shows that we're doing, Rogue Entertainment. It was the very reason I used those clips because they're so powerful. The messaging behind it is so extremely powerful, especially in today's climate.
Yeah, I'm going to address these two comments, and I need to step away. I really got to use the restroom for a second. Did you hear about
the bathroom from there?
Huh?
Can't you reach a bathroom from there?
No,
Hey, he doesn't want to take the chance of hitting mom by accident. That's
he just leaves the tip in the bathtub.
The coffee's running its course. Did you hear about a Swedish company developing a device that administers a booster and a chip with vaccine passport information on it? Yeah, they want to go to either a mobile phone app or they'll actually implant you with the microchip. That's where we're at.
You know what? Else I was going to say, you know what else this falls in line with? This was a number of years. I want to say this is probably like up to 6 years ago that they were talking about. They actually wanted to put a one world economy type thing together where it was going to be digital. So what they would do is they would implant these chips into your arm. And when you went by the register, it would have access to all your banking information and everything like that. When you walk out of the store, you don't even need to really even go to a cashier. You would just walk out of the store. The store would scan what was in your cart. It would scan the chip in your arm, and then you would walk right out of the store. This is something they were talking about. Like, I want to say it was at least 6 years ago. And this
I remember that.
Sure as hell seems like some of the same shit right now with this COVID crap that they want to push.
I remember decades ago, there was that commercial with this guy who was in a trench coat. He's walking around the grocery store, putting his stuff in his coat, making like he's stealing, walks through a scanner on his way out. Security guard stops like, hey, you forgot your receipt. I thought that shit was crazy back then. Like decades ago.
Yep. And if they're trying to do this, one global economy thing, then because of the perceived economic strength of China, we're going to have to deal with all the Chinese policies, which means, social credit scores. So your pricing that you're going to be getting, what stores you're allowed to buy from, all of that could be determined by your social credit score. We're already doing that here in America in certain places like New York with, what's your status?
Well, I mean, we were doing it in a small way anyway, as far as people's actual just credit score, because your credit score affects a lot more than what you think it does. It doesn't just affect your credit as far as getting credit cards or getting loans. It actually affects your ability to get a job in a lot of places because they run your credit score when you go to apply for a job. A lot of people don't even know that.
Does it at my job? I work for a defense contractor. If your credit goes down, you get questioned and you could possibly be let go or suspended.
Oh, man. I think it's also a shame that, it's one of the major failings of the education system that we don't teach kids basic things like how to have a good credit score. I mean, by the time I was like 23, I had I think a 770 because I knew what I needed to do. I had people sit me down and tell me like, hey, here's the process you can go through. You want to get a card and you want to keep your whatever your limit is, you want to keep your balance to 10% of that limit, and then you want to pay it off immediately, like literally within days. And I did that for like 3 years, and I went from having no credit to a 770, and I was able to buy a house.
I mean, these are the same people that go to college and incur more debt than most people do in the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
So-
trade schools, people. Trade schools.
Teaching them how to have a good credit score probably is a moot point at that level.
Yep. Yeah, they don't teach kids so many basic things. I mean, about a year ago, I was down in Florida visiting some family, and my cousin came up. She's younger, but she was like, "Hey, I want to learn how to drive a stick shift. Can you teach me?" It's like, "Yeah, sure, come on." It's like, you're 19, you should know how to do that. While we're at it, why don't we teach you how to change a tire? You ever changed a tire before? It's not hard to do. You should know it.
Or I can't get 3 of my roommates to shut the door all the way.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
just
where
a
I'm
thing.
living at.
That's that just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier about it, and I agree. I'm also not a religious person, but the way I see it is that when you have these beliefs that become popular beliefs or cult level beliefs or religious level beliefs, whether or not it's true doesn't really matter. What matters is that people believe it's true, and their belief in it gives it the strength that it needs.
Hail Apex Comics.
And it's also like the how they have to replace religion with the state. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of most organized religions, but I see they have a very significant purpose throughout society in teaching young people morality. It's a very important function, and if we remove that and allow the state to do that, the state's going to be able to implement their own morality, which is what they're doing right now, which is why we see this culture of fear, which is why we have everything's hate speech, which is why we have the bastardization of the First Amendment, where when I was in college a year or so ago, I got into a very mild argument with like this 15-year-old girl who's saying like, well, what about my right to not be offended? I'm like, that doesn't exist. You don't have a right to not be offended. You're not going to be able to control my speech so that you can't be offended. Only you can determine that. And it just didn't compute because she had been getting the indoctrination her entire life.
Hail Fabworks, great to see you. And they've co-opted, Lasso Truth. I know she expressed her displeasure with organized religion, but I'll tell you, the thing is, they've co-opted to a large degree, religion, because we go back to the pandemic, how they weren't letting people in churches, the whole 9 yards there. They wouldn't even let you go to a house of worship. But then the people, the major movers and shakers that are religious leaders among the various denominations started just whipping everybody into compliance with all this nonsense. And it's like, if you really have values, if you really are going by the Bible, God, Jesus himself stood up against BS like this.
If Jesus was alive today, there would be a lot of people getting whipped.
Yeah, he stood up against this kind of crap.
Jesus was 100% a rebel because he rebelled against everything that was established at the time. Even
yes, he was. Yes, he was. And the thing is, the thing of it is, I look at my own church. I look at the Catholic Church. Pope Francis. You take that for example. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of Catholics these days too. They don't get the fact that there are actual like Luciferian people that have gone and actually they've infiltrated the Catholic Church. I don't know and I would highly suggest folks that you research the Vatican II. And the reason I mentioned the Vatican II is that is the whole concept of a one world church being built alongside the one world government. And oh, by the way, the person they have in mind to be the leader of that, and I've talked about this many times, is Pope Francis himself. Okay, so he is not a good guy. All right. And I also noticed that, again, Pope Francis is one of the people that is trying to relax the thinking of Catholics on being against abortion. You know, like you can't be a Catholic and be for abortion. It's just unheard of. You know, I mean, you're not a real Catholic if you're saying, "Oh, well, you know, my bad. I shouldn't have went and got knocked up. I'll just, you know, take a mulligan on this one." Yeah, that's not how it works.
Well, how
Wearing
many
a condom isn't allowing you to accept the child into your life, but you can boot it out later.
Yeah, well, I mean, how many of them took the knee to, you know, the LGBTQ communities and everything after they professed hatred for what they stood for and everything like, and then they took the knee to them anyway. Okay, you know what? If that is your belief and that is your core belief, why should you change your core belief for somebody else?
Yeah,
Just saying.
exactly.
You know, if that, you know, right or wrong, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter because I will not go to a regular church. I just don't believe in how they do things. I think a lot of them are crooked. I think a lot of them are just.
Oh, they are, and it's coming out, Tommy. It's coming out. You know, it's all coming out in the wash. People are seeing it now. You know, and that is the most important thing. You know, Terminus said Pope Francis is a weirdo. He once said that he would baptize aliens. Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. But this is the thing that is going on. And, you know, I have pretty much put a soft boycott on going to mass. I won't go to mass until there's a new pope. I mean, I firmly believe that you know, until there is reform in our church and we get back to tradition, that, you know, I'm not going to go participate. I have my own relationship with God. I'm cool with that. You know, I mean, I pray, I read the Bible. I'm good with that for now.
And that's the way it should be. Everybody should be able to practice it the way they see fit, and they shouldn't have to be browbeaten to showing up in a church and giving them money just because they said so.
There are a lot of independent Catholic priests in the Philippines. You know, and I know that you guys are talking about non-denominationalism, and yeah, you know, you have a very good point there, Trina, for sure. You know, but the thing is, yeah, it is 100% a spiritual war at the same time that it is a you know, war on our culture, history, and values. Period.
Well,
You know,
how
we're-
ridiculous is it, though, Drew? I mean, when you really think about it, when they're doing this, they're attacking like religion and everything else.
No,
Because
we're
that was
fight-
one of the reasons why they wanted to come to this country to start fresh, because they wanted to escape religious persecution. It's
That's
so
what-
hilarious when you think about that circle coming back around again, and here we are
Yeah.
yet again.
Yeah, and we're also fighting for our right to exist. You know, it's funny, we laugh about you know, I know that many of us have probably made the comment at one time or another, man, the presidential speech from Independence Day is one of the best presidential speeches I've ever heard. But you know, what's funny about that is that speech that Bill Pullman made in that movie. I mean, he's right. We are fighting for our right to exist, to be around, because, you know, as far as these ghouls are concerned, they don't even want us to live. They don't want us to exist. They'd rather just kill off a mass amount of people and be done with it. And that is the thing that we need to stand against and push back on, because all of it is cloaked neatly in this package of, quote, you know, comply for the greater good, and, you know, think of your fellow man. Yeah, think of your fellow man as we kill you off. No, it's not about that at all. So 2021 has definitely proven that, you know, really and truly, in a nutshell, this authoritarianism
packaged in the facade of, we're going to do everything for the greater good of society is a joke. It is a joke.
It proves Yahtzees are alive and well in 2021 and they're in political office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just watching a Salty Cracker video that he put out earlier today, and he had a clip at the beginning of it. It's the one he was talking about, the New York Times guy who had a heart attack after getting the jab. But the clip at the beginning of it, the guy was saying, I'm wondering how many of these boosters I'm going to have to get. Is it going to be 4, 5, 12? Well, I don't really care because, people much smarter than myself and, than you and me have made these decisions for me. And as soon as I heard that, like, it just, one of the concepts that, I've been aware of, but it just clicked. It's like right there. That's more of the messaging of critical thinking has to go away. You cannot think for yourself. You cannot be allowed to think for yourself because the authoritarians won't be able to take over. And you have to allow people who are deemed smarter than you and better than you to think for you.
Yeah, and you see the consequences of that happening. I linked to that video in the private chat, but I just dropped it in the main chat just because I watched that video before this as well.
Yeah, God, yeah, I love that, dude. Animal House Rules, I love that. Still a classic flick. And
I was also going to say, to be fair, more presidential speeches should be made from the cockpits of F-18s.
Right? Tehillim says the elite are the most selfish people in the world. Yes, they are. And it's just, I'm very encouraged because I think 2022 is going to be the year that we fight back. That we fight back in earnest. And, I really, truly believe that. I really have hope for this coming year. I really think that we're going to get out in front and make some headway in this fight. Because people are getting beyond the game that Trina is mentioning here. She said, those sheep are why we're losing our freedoms. Too many people are still playing the Republican versus Democrat game. The people need to unite against authority. Yeah, and you see more mass demonstrations around the world every day standing up against authoritarianism, standing up against, misinformation, censorship, the whole 9 yards. People are standing up for humanity.
I mean, the problem is because of social media and so many of these other sites that actually push that ideology that it's us against them. And that's where a lot of the younger generations are growing up in that shit. And that's all they see is us against them, against them.
Well, Tommy, privately, you've told me just some of the conversations, some of the actual programming that you've had to fight with your own children.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy. And this is where we're at. But I really think, in 2022, as more people wake up, there's going to be a shift back slowly toward common sense and traditionalism, to where we get back what has been taken away. Because I don't think people are cool with living like this. I don't think that people want these type of systems. I don't think they want any of this nonsense. And yeah, we're going to see a major shift. And I really think that a lot of that push starts this year. So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents on the matter.
I think it's already going. It's already it's been rolling. There's a lot of what people like us who pay attention to politics would consider normies. A lot of them are getting essentially radicalized towards freedom. A lot of them are seeing now that it's so transparent with how bad our government is right now. They're seeing just how poor they can actually execute things. And a lot of people who, praise things like the Affordable Care Act, that was a major one to where they were saying, oh, it's going to be affordable and it's going to help so many people get insurance. And then, people like myself, I'm not rich or anything like that. I don't make a buttload of money. I can't afford insurance anymore. It went from being like $125 a month for me to now, if I want to get it, it's like $600 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I can't come up with that.
I had that same problem with my daughter early on, and that was probably the only thing in Obama's package that actually helped was the child care that he created. That was the only thing that helped, because that actually reduced our insurance for my daughter, which was over $600 a month, down to zero. I mean, she didn't even have to pay for her prescription. That was the only thing in that plan that made any sense. Everything else about it burdened everybody else.
Yeah, we need to be united against unlawful authority, says Apex Comics. Lasso Truth says, facts, Tommy, social media and 24/7 news. Well, listen, all I can say is, I know from my end, independently, which what I try to do with this program in particular is because I like to use comedy and levity, but also good information to pass that along to folks so that they can pass it along to other folks. And that's what's important, and I'm not going to stop fighting on the independent journalism end. I mean, somebody will have to break down my door, shoot me in the fucking head before I stop, because I'm not going to. Or unless they haul me off to the same gulag that the January 6th people are in, and I'll do the same thing Bannon is. They try to bring me before some stupid committee. I'll be like, yeah, your contempt of Congress is a joke, which it is, by the way. That's a joke charge. Completely unconstitutional.
Yeah, there's no such thing. They are not a wing of the justice system.
No. 100%. But the thing is I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, and I can tell you folks, I got the best, if you want to call it a Christmas present, in the sense of from somebody that really is trying to make a difference in doing good independent journalism and speaking out. I got the best validation I ever could. Laura Logan followed me on Twitter, and it might not seem a big deal to some people, but she is a huge idol in journalism to me because of the really staunch way that she pursues the truth. And that absolutely made my year, just being followed by her. And by the way, at some point, folks, I will reach out to her. I'm going to see if we can have Laura on, because I really would like to have a discussion with her about, everything that is going on in our world today. And our buddy Chase Geyser just had her on his show recently. And I'm going to see if I can't continue where he left off and have her on this program at some point. So big things are coming for 2022 for this program. I know for a lot of the other ones around Rogue Entertainment, and I intend to keep the fight going. So, yeah. But Tommy, you're right about what you said too, and we need to really ramp it up and continue to stay galvanized. That's the biggest thing.
So Drew, listen, I know that it's great that you're building up this harem of freedom loving bitches, but you don't need to rub it in our face.
Watch out if he tries to rub it in your face, Zach. You might not be able to breathe.
I'll just take my head off,
At least lose some teeth.
Seriously, good job, Drew. You're doing awesome,
man. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be able to do it without the support of the great people out in this chat that continue to support our shows, continue to enjoy listening to compelling discussion, good information, and just having fun with us and, having our backs. So you are so much appreciated, chat, and all the mods and all the, people that promote the streams. Thank you so much for what you do.
Oh,
And I
and
wanna-
don't forget all the bots. Thank all the bots for coming through and looking stupid.
And I want to,
my comrade.
and I want to, and I want to, I want to thank, I want to thank my friends on the panel, because without people like Tommy, who's done so much to me, I owe him a lot for just the things that he's done this year, being there for me as a friend, but also, helping out with stuff like the new logo that you guys see, things like that. Like people like Brightest Day that have gone and not only helped produce this show, but co-host with me on this show, co-host with me on Pegasus Actual, just in helping me, make the new intro, stuff like that. Zach has done so much for me, and also been there on and offline as a friend, and my friendship with Freeze, that meeting him earlier in the year, and now he's becoming a regular on this show, and I appreciate that, and it's awesome. And we're making big moves, guys, and I really do have hope for the coming year, and I just want to say thank you to everyone. I certainly do appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll go around, and it's 8:45. I want to kind of get on out of here. So I'm going to go let these guys talk about where they can be found. And we'll start with Tommy.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective here. If you're wondering what's going on, open up your refrigerator, you see your lettuce and your carrots are gone, follow the Guinea Pig Jelly Beans all the way back to my channel, where you'll find me talking about old toys, retro toys being done right, old movies, and I still have them old lightsaber theory videos up on my channel Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We do going old school retro discussions where we get a panel of people together and we talk about those things from the past that we love so much. Every night feels like Christmas Story when I'm running that panel. And make sure you stop by at 7:45 on my channel as well. For the time being, it's still there until Vinny gets done with Shadow of the Kraken, where we have Rogue Entertainment Presents Collectible Past, where we talk about retro and old school toys. It is always such a pleasure to see all the same people that are always in all these different chats. You don't know how much it means to us. You guys are the best chat on YouTube. Don't let anybody ever tell you anything different. And remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent. And if you shake a tree in the middle of the night, a wild Walton might drop right out of it. It's true. Those midgets are everywhere.
Here we go over to Free Speech Gaming.
Hey everybody, you can find me here on YouTube, also on Odyssey and Rumble. On my channel, I like to talk about pop culture, politics, and where the two collide. I also like to talk about the destruction of different fandoms and how we just see the world kind of crumbling around us as they're trying to completely demoralize us by using our modern-day mythos through fiction. And while we're going around and circle jerking each other off, just wanted to say Brightest Day just hit 810 subscribers on YouTube. That guy is taking off right now. But yeah, come check me out. I should be putting up some new videos here soon. Had to take a bit of a break for the holidays. Been traveling around all over the place. Been having to help people move. So been a bit hectic at the problem. But I'll be coming back and putting out new videos here soon.
And we'll go over to my EXO, the aforementioned Brightest Day, a.k.a. Zach.
Hi, everybody. Brightest Day on YouTube, Brightest Day on Twitch, Brightest Day on Odyssey, Brightest Day almost everywhere else, except for Twitter, where it's Brightest D, but that's a whole other story. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, booked with Brightest Day, where I read classic sci-fi novels to you. I just dropped the finish for Heir to the Empire. Tomorrow, I will be dropping the last few chapters of Frank Herbert's Dune while I am on ETEP stream. Tuesday and Thursday, I game on Twitch, where I just hit affiliate. I'm going to start streaming Final Fantasy VII Remake, so tune in if you're on Twitch. Love you guys.
Awesome. Hey, Zach, I gotta ask Zach real quick. Are you Brightest D on Twitter so you can be Drew's sidekick?
I mean, that makes sense. I'm gonna go with it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do want to say, big things are coming in 2022. Don't forget Pegasus Actual Thursday. We've got Nikki Klein that's going to be coming on. She played Callie. You best know her as Callie from PSG.
So excited.
Yes. I need to text her later and confirm, but I'm pretty sure that she'll be on Thursday, so don't miss that. That's going to be an awesome interview / episode review, so you guys will love that. And besides that, like I said, later in the year, hopefully we'll have Laura Logan on this program. Of course, Chase is always around. I'm sure he'll be back. And I'm going to try to set up a lot of interesting guests this coming year. I'm hoping to also get, at some point, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer on, because I've definitely been wanting to have a conversation with Tim, specifically about global threats and what we're looking at as far as the prospects of another war in the possible coming years. So just look for that. I'm definitely trying to find really good people to talk to, because I think those discussions are important to have right now. So again, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we will see you guys in 2022. Peace.
They think it's right to murder. They want to murder. Look at all the people, and they get a kick out of it. A sexual kick out of it. The whole thing, I think it's sick. I mean,